Another edition of Titan Talk, and I don't
Titan
think
Talk.
This is the camera angle I want to be
Let's
on.
talk
One
to
second.
a
lot of me.
There's a lot of Kilgoo.
way more of me than we need in this.
1 second, chat. Let me get us right. There we go.
Okay, hey.
We're looking good now.
Good job, Isaiah.
Today we are going to be going over the God release map for Smite 2 and the first 50 gods joining the roster.
Yeah, we're going to be covering the first 50. I know this has been a big question for a long time for the community, but we want to make sure that the list was in a good enough place and we felt comfortable enough in the information that we were sharing that things weren't going to super change. So yeah, we're excited to run through the list today and
I'm hyped.
do some reveals. So yeah,
it's gonna be a really exciting show full of spoilers. Lots of
Let's
drum
go.
rolls.
Let's get into the meat. I'm ready for the meat, Hi-Rez. I'm ready for the meat.
Dun, 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 dun.
maybe we should just hide ourselves.
Yeah,
We'll just hide ourselves.
hide ourselves today.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
PowerPoint.
I figured the best way to go through this list of gods
I moved my cam.
was with a PowerPoint.
Yes.
Because I love making PowerPoints and I love GIFs. So there's going to be a lot of dumb GIFs in a PowerPoint presentation because
like
my passion
PowerPoints
is
too.
graphic design. So
I like PowerPoints too.
so let's go. Let's roll through
All
it.
right, cool.
So we're going to start off with just kind of a quick disclaimers, right? Things will change. Give it a click. Everything that we're going to talk about today is subject to change. I think
Love
I put subject
PowerPoints.
to change on every slide in case y'all screenshot them and share them, which y'all are welcome to do. But just as much as we can reiterate and you who are watching can help let people know, like, this is our plan. We're sharing our plan with you, but everything can and does
Basically,
change.
remember it's an alpha. They should have that in the top left this entire
Making
time.
gods is hard, right? There's frequently things that pop up that are unknown challenges that will face us when we're making a god and will cause the god to take longer than we had expected. Very frequently, we find very tiny things that the god did that were never documented anywhere, but somebody
getting
found
trolled.
out, and then
Where do I put my
it
cam?
takes a lot longer to do it the right way, right? But we're trying to make sure we do these gods in the right way. In September, before we went on this path to make gods faster, we were thinking we'd have around 30 gods in January, right? With this new push trying to get to 50, like,
If there was going to be 30 gods in January, this game would be dead. This game would be dead.
this has overall been a success.
30
We're
was
also
their
working on a lot of
idea.
things that aren't gods, but I'm not going to tease all those today. So sorry, this is focused on the gods. But I just want to say there is other stuff that we are working on. The first god coming out on November 26th will be Cupid.
Yay!
Wait,
Yeah.
so that
and
means
Cupid also does have a model rework
Yes.
as part of this. So we're excited
Tuesday,
about
we
that.
should get the new gods.
Obviously some gameplay changes as well.
Maybe Monday.
But pretty exciting.
Yep. Next up, we've got
Thor.
iconic. People have been asking
All
for
right.
Thor since the Alpha Weekend phase, so we're
Yes.
super excited to get him into the game.
Yeah, I think he's like
These ones
probably
we've already
the most
known.
iconic Smite 1 god that's not in the game right now. So we definitely needed to get him in. Poseidon, you know.
Yes.
Yep, we knew these
Unleashing the
three.
Kraken. So now we're going to go to start kind of rebuilding some new stuff. So the next patch
Okay.
after November
Next
26th
three.
is currently targeted for December 17th.
Or 10th.
December 10th.
Yeah.
The patch date could change, but that's what the date that we're targeting right now. So 2 weeks after the previous patch.
Come on.
And the first god of
Come on.
three gods in that patch is going to be
Drum roll.
Aphrodite.
There we go.
Yeah. So I think Aphrodite is probably the most community requested god
Oh, yeah.
based on the chat.
This
line.
community's
every
lost.
social media post all over the official Discord.
This community's lost.
Players love them some Aphrodite.
Yeah, and Ben was on the show.
Don't
a little
lump me
while
in with
ago,
them.
Showed off Aphrodite's model.
Don't lump me in with them.
so
The
I think
players
we're-
don't. There's got to be a rework or something changed with anti-heal.
Next up,
Or a massive rework to her.
Pele.
That is
I
a
don't think we
W.
teased this one at
No,
all.
we
That is a
haven't, yeah.
W.
But we're really excited
Pele
to bring
is
Pele
awesome.
in the game. Pele
is
a
awesome.
really good jungler. Who
Massive
adds
W.
A different kind of jungle play style to the game that we don't have right now. Also, always a very popular character across all skill levels.
She might be my favorite assassin in the
kind of in
game,
and out
even
of
more than
SPL
Thor
success
in
as
Smite
well over the
2.
years.
So cool.
So really excited to add more jungle because I think we also just need more junglers in the game.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have, in this.
It's gotta be a
upcoming
soul
patch, we have
laner
Nemesis,
next.
Then we're gonna have Thor. Then we're gonna have Pele.
Yep.
So 3 patches in a row of more junglers being added to the game. So we knew that you guys were starving out there, and we needed to, cook up some
Starving
delicious
out there.
meal.
Yes, and Pele's gonna be fire.
Yep.
Okay. Oh.
And the last god in the December 10th update is Medusa.
Medusa.
Yeah. So we need
Huh.
we timed that perfectly because CatNat976 said right before we revealed that need more hunter.
There
too.
we go.
Hey, look, we got more hunter too.
I'll say it's a
very
dub.
popular
Small
character
dub.
on console.
Small dub.
Yeah.
They're cooking up some interesting gameplay changes for her that I've seen. I think she's going to look largely like she does, today, just updated.
Yep.
So now let's talk about kind of what's
That
after
gets us
December
to
10th.
50?
Cool.
we have holidays and blackouts. So this may come as a surprise to some of you, but we are indeed real people with families. And because we are real people with families,
so they're probably going to take a 2-week break.
The devs are going to get a little bit of
Christmas
time off
Yep.
around Christmas and Thanksgiving. Get one more click. So we are not going to be working like over the week of Christmas or over the week of Thanksgiving, right? Also, the entire industry, again, maybe a surprise, is staffed by real people that has families. So if you click one more time, Microsoft and Sony actually will completely shut down for the holiday season. There is nobody at their offices. They will not answer your emails. They are off doing their own thing.
Yeah, I mean, this is fine.
Yes.
This is fine. They deserve it.
So they have what they call a
They've been doing
blackout
so
period
much.
from December 21st until January 4th. And during that blackout period, we actually cannot safely update the game.
I assume it's a console thing.
We can do everything on our side, but we can't ship patches to the game safely that require a client update, like things that are server side we can do, but things that require a client update, because if anything goes wrong with that update, then, and it would require their intervention to fix it, to put a new update out, then they won't fix it, and you would just not be able to play the game on that platform until January 4th.
Valve saying holiday,
we do
maybe.
this every year. It just is kind of maybe a little bit less obvious that we don't patch during this time window because
Leaked Founder Series in Vegas.
Yep,
Leaked.
right now.
Exactly.
We cannot patch between December 21st and January 4th. Just to be clear to everybody.
Right.
Also, we're going to be prepping for the Smite Founder Series Vegas Land, which is January 17th to 19th, I believe. And as part of that, we want to give
only
the players
2 months away.
A build on or around December 15th. That is the version of the game that they will be playing in Vegas, which includes a lot of the new gods.
That gives us an idea of all the new gods that will be available for this.
The big release, and we want them to play on that release at Vegas Land. That's currently the plan. And they'll have that server available for them to practice on the whole time. The last note, just in terms of timing here, is that we also have to certify a full build, which is a longer process with the consoles, in order to get text chat in.
Yes.
So we're going to be trying to do that during this period as well. So it's also just going to slow down our ability to push patches like live.
Yeah.
So because of that, we're not going to have a big Smite 2 update between December 10th or so, when that update with the previous gods comes out, and early January,
like
kind
month.
of around the time of the Vegas patch. It's
Dude,
going to be
people
a little
freak
bit
out
of
about no patches for 2 weeks.
A slow period, we understand, and it kind of sucks a little bit. But it's part of the holidays and us building up to hopefully a really huge update in January. For
48
everybody
gods though? Yeah, but it's not me that has the issue. It's like, oh, there's no balance. There's no new items.
In January. But it's not
Stuff
going to
like
be up 24/7 or anything. It'll
yeah.
just be kind of regular flash tests. Now that I've done all the kind of boring stuff, let's talk about the gods that are coming in January.
Yes.
So I've split these up into two kind of waves here for everybody to listen through. The January wave one is gods that we are near 100% confident right now will be in the game in January.
Yes.
They're in our internal playtest right now. They're
who do we get? Someone exciting?
Everything's looking really good.
Is it going to be like Wukong?
January wave 2 are gods that we are less confident will be in the game in January, but we're still working really hard to get them in the game for January. Yeah. And if they aren't in the game by January, they'll be in the game very shortly after in early February.
Wukong people like.
Yeah. So again, as I kind of said at the beginning of the game,
Wukong's one of those popular solo laners.
If we get to,
I'm surprised he's not in the game yet.
Gods in January and the next few come out in early February, I think we would still consider this a successful initiative of getting more gods in the
waves.
But I just want to give you guys that
calculating
expectation
5.
You know what to look for here.
Or sorry,
so,
it's not 3.
Way too much preamble.
It's saying
Let's talk about
5.
who these gods actually are.
So this could be 10 characters.
All right. January wave 1.
January wave 1.
Change.
Subject to change, as always.
Come on. Cleo.
First, what is that font? I
Cleo
actually
Naja.
Googled, a glitter text generator. It was the only thing I spent
Cleo
time on
Naja
this
Sylvanas.
presentation.
Those 3.
So,
Cleo Sylv Sylvanas.
January
Cleo
wave
Naja
1.
Sylvanas.
Here we go.
All
First
right.
god. Ooh. Yeah. We mentioned he was going to be kind of the first stance swapper coming to the game.
Don't care. Go
one
next.
One of those really like high skill cap characters that adds something.
Anybody that says Ullr's high skill cap
so
is lying to themselves.
Really excited to bring him to the game.
He's got a high skill floor, not a high skill cap.
Next up, January wave 1, we have
Agni.
That's a dub. That's a dub.
I don't know if we've teased Agni at all.
No, we haven't.
Agni is
massive
looking
dub. Probably to the mid laners. That is
Agni,
very important for the game.
Mid laner. kind of the artillery mage, you know, has a little bit more range, a different play style than any mid laner we have right now. Also has a dash, which is you know, a little bit more of a mobile mid laner
I was
than
going
we've
to
had in the
call
game
out
so far.
right now. We have a lot of mid laners that don't
Swag
have
me,
a ton of
pimp
mobility,
slap.
so getting Agni into the mix is going to add some spice for sure.
Yep,
So
that's a dub.
I'm excited about Agni.
Massive dub. Dub.
Third god in January wave 1.
My favorite, Mulan.
Mulan. We had the vote a while ago where y'all said that the version of Mulan with the mask is going to be the default art kind of going forward. So excited about that. Mulan, also an incredibly popular solo laner across all levels of play. Maybe not the
1
top
for 2 or 1 for
SPL,
3.
But
All right, next up, we have Geb.
Yeah. So Geb, very exciting.
I might take a hiatus
being able to
over the
shield
first
people
month of
at a little
January,
bit
or
more of a
the
true
first week of
supporting
January.
And then the last god in the January wave 1 is going to be Fenrir. So there's going to be an all new god in this wave, right?
Okay,
we are
you
not going to
convinced me.
confirm who that all new god is.
I'll fucking play in
I'm sure a lot
January.
of you have read data mining about who that god is going to be. We just aren't ready to make a formal statement about that yet. Just to reiterate, these are the gods that we are almost 100% sure will be in the early January release that we put out. This next group
2
of
for
gods
5. 2 for 5.
are fairly confident will make it into January, but some of them may slip a little bit. They may come a little bit later.
Naja.
All right, January
Naja.
wave 2, our first god in this wave is
Hunbots.
Hunbots.
Yeah.
An OG.
An
L.
OG. I remember.
I'm gonna say it, L. I don't
in
care.
Scream Happy New Year.
I don't care. L. There's like 5 other assassins I'd rather have over bots. Give me Cleo, Serket, Naja.
I found this GIF online and I loved it.
I want to
Low-key?
smite.
Yeah, and he's gonna get to Smite.
Arachne.
2.
Just
So
to see what they
pretty
do with
excited
her.
about that.
All right, next up, we have
Achilles.
L.
Yeah, Achilles, another great solo laner. Another X. I think that he is a very fun character to add to the game.
Yeah.
Another good solo laner.
Nope.
And somebody
Wrong.
really
Big name recognition.
Yes. Always really popular.
True.
I just love the combat dodge that he has.
It's so good.
It's like the most fun.
It's
Hey,
so
that's
cool.
That 8-way dodge we were talking about
It's
the
so
other show,
cool
right?
watching him dance.
I think they might see him sooner rather than later.
Maybe.
Because the next god
is it the next one?
It's Rama.
Rama.
Okay,
yeah.
W.
So Ram,
W.
again, like being able to go up in the air and
W.
hit those snipes, very exciting.
W.
He, again, just one of those iconic characters in Smite.
This is your tried
That's a
and
hit.
true stem hunter. 2 more in this wave. Next up, we have Cabrakan.
W.
Cabrakan.
W.
Yeah, Cabrakan is
W.
maybe an interesting choice to people.
W.
Part of
I hope that they
how
do
we
something
came up
cool with
this list,
Cabrakan.
us able to move quickly, right? Was a combination of like what gods could we implement relatively quickly with the tech that we had, right? And also like how did that balance out with player interest, right? And Cabrakan is actually like more popular than you would think. They're very
Dude,
flexible.
Invis Cabrakan.
Play 3 roles,
Yes.
maybe even 4 pretty successfully.
Yes.
Which might win
Yeah.
with Cabrakan for
Yeah.
sure.
So I played
Cabrakan with more
in the
CC?
playtest, where I got
He
straight.
procs one, procs Circe's Hexstone. Oh, high res.
So
Iris!
I am I'm excited for Cabrakan to be
Okay.
played by people better than
Okay.
me.
All right.
Number
last up
5.
for Wave 2 in Smite 2.
Is
Vulcan. There we go.
Ooh.
yeah. So Vulcan again.
W.
You know, I think pretty
W.
much all these gods are just like super
W.
iconic.
Yeah.
That's a good
Vulcan.
final
is
3.
One of my most played mages.
Their mages
personally.
they're adding are cool.
You
The
gotta love
warriors they're
throwing out the
adding
new
are
ball.
lame.
You gotta love throwing out the
I
big
know.
Earth.
The
Earthshaker?
assassins?
Earthshaker ultimate.
Yeah. Earth.
I want Osiris.
Is it, even in Smite 1, he's a god that you could rank any
I
skill.
want Vamana.
And it was a reasonable choice. To go to the next slide, I think I got the kind of overview. But this is kind of like the order of how we have released gods so far, right? And I think that you can see like the moment where we switched to this new trajectory and path, like we just started speeding up tremendously. The number of gods in the game has gone up a lot, right? And we're going to get to this 50 number pretty quickly. Yeah. And then we're going to keep shipping a lot more gods really quickly, right?
Yes, sir.
We know that every god is somebody's favorite. And
No, that's not
this-
true. Nobody's
and then
favorite
we're
god
gonna
is Jingwei.
keep moving quickly after.
Not a single person.
I made my
Not a
little
single person
video
says,
notebook.
can't wait to get my daily Jingwei
and-
game in.
You know, initially before
For some reason, she was what?
we committed to this change
First 23?
in our planning and our
Bera
development
Bera's a
cycle,
soul main.
we were only going to
Soul. Yeah, isn't that
45,
crazy?
50 gods.
This is what they wanted to have in
We weren't gonna
January.
get to 40 gods until April 22nd.
Yeah.
We're going to be at 40 gods on December 10th.
Yep.
And we weren't going to get to 50 gods until August 5th.
They were intending to hit 50 gods on August 5th. I'm actually baffled. August 5th. They were planning on adding just barely over 25 gods in a year.
You know, we can answer questions about other gods that you may have in the chat, but like, I'm not going to be able to confirm when they're coming.
They're doing
you know?
awesome. They're doing awesome. I don't know. Overall, top 50, I think that's good. I think it's a good 50. About 40 going to be available for the LAN at in Vegas. And I think a few of the gods at least are going to be interesting, like skill cap gods. I do think that they should have. I mean, there's some that are already in the game that are just a little bit of an issue. Like, I'm a really big Jingwei hater. I hate that character. 40 gods for the land, 50 gods in January. Not too bad. Let me know what you guys think about the gods. Anything that you guys are excited about now? I know Aphrodite is one that is volatile, but I think there's some that just nobody really dislikes. So I think that was not too bad.